Let me tell you something, folks, and everybody knows it. The Levi is absolutely beautiful at fantasy football. I mean, people all over the league, they come up to me, they say, "Sir, have you seen what Levis doing?" And I say, "Oh, I've seen it. It's something very, very special." The guy's got the best roster, the best trades, tremendous waiver wire pickups. Nobody does it like Levi. Total winner. He's got that fantasy football instinct, that natural talent. Some people have it. Most don't. Levis got it in spades. Now, on the other hand, you've got Jack.
Wow. Strong words. The man doesn't know how to pronounce my name. Not overly surprising, but honored that he knows who I am. And with that, we are going to get into Levi's quick picks week 6. We're gonna kick it off with a quick recap. So here's what happened last week. I did lose to Chris Collins, but that's not overly surprising. He scored 184 points. He has his points for, I think, are like it's got like 130 more points for than the next most person in the league. He's a little bit of a powerhouse. But Chris, don't get too comfortable. Once it comes time for playoffs, championship, you only have to lose one game. So we'll see where it goes. Moving on, Rob beat Ethan. Ethan, I have nothing else to say to you other than you weren't supposed to let that happen. I don't want to hear any excuses. Next, we had Gary pulling out a big win over John Dodd, who, despite his 2-3 record, kind of looking like a little bit of a contender. His team's not been doing bad. Another big win for Gary. Hashtag GLever. Next, we have Ben losing to Jake Blaine in a very close matchup, 136 to 145. Unfortunately, Ben did lose me $100. Congratulations, Jake Blaine. Tough week for me, good week for you, buddy. But it was a hell of a game. It was a fun matchup to watch. Next, we've got Candy beating Caleb. And I'm going to click into this one because I actually don't hate Caleb's team despite his 1-4 record. Yeah, he's not looking that bad. He's got some running back issues, but he might be looking at shaping up for a rebuild year. Anyways, start thinking about those keepers. We'll see. He's 1-4. That's not uncomebackable, but it's not great. Next, for the last matchup, Parker beat Jack by about a half a point. Yeah, that's fun to take Jack to 0-5. That's huge. It's pretty funny, honestly, Jack. Pick it up, man. You're 0-5. That's rough. We'll get into it. All right, let's take it on to quick picks. Let's keep them quick. All right, starting off, I'm taking myself over Gary. This might be the only time I do that this season. I am a certified G lever, but I will play my hardest, and I will probably beat you. Take you down to take us both to 3-3. Next, I am unfortunately we're looking at Rob and Jake Blaine down here. I am unfortunately going to take Rob this week. I also lost $100 to Jake, so that might kind of overcome my disdain for Rob. In fact, heard it here first. Some people are saying Jake Blaine is the new Rob of the league, the guy that everybody roots against. That's not something you want to be, Jake. I don't know how that happened. That's shocking. Next, we're going to be taking Ben Zook over John Dodd. And I think it's going to be a very close game, actually. I think it's going to be a fun matchup to watch this week. Both 3-2, maybe. No, I'm not 2-3, but his team's not bad. All right, going to be a fun one to watch. Keep an eye on these guys. However, they are not my call out of the week. Next, we're going to be taking Ethan over Parker. Where's this matchup? Right down here. Could be a little bold. I think it's going to be a super close game, and that's what I've been trying to do is pick close games for my weekly bet matchup. And what is that?
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155
That's
taters.
right. That is our weekly bet call out. Here's what we're doing. Parker, hit me up if you want to throw down. I'm going to be betting on Ethan Zook against you. I think he takes it this week. We're going to call it a max bet of $30 because Jake Blaine did take $100 from me this last week. So Parker, you let me know. Feel free to shoot me a text and we'll get something figured out if you would like to bet. People are going to talk if you don't. All right, finally, that takes us to our last matchup. It's I don't even think we honestly have to click into this one. It's going to be Chris Collins versus Candy, and I'm taking Chris Collins over Candy. It's just tough to pick against Chris Collins at this point. Nothing personal to you, Candy. I actually, if anything, I hope that you can hand Chris's first loss of the season. But as of right now, it's like I said earlier, you get the playoffs, you get the championship. All it takes is one game to knock Chris Collins out. But right now, he seems like he's a guy to keep an eye on. So with that was Levi's quick picks for week 6. Let's have another good week of fantasy football, boys.